Alright, here we are. Peterbilt frame stretch, 379. Where do we start? Alright, let's just have a look around here. I've already got putting 3 feet in this frame length. There's the 3-foot piece right there. We got everything skinned back, ground up. Have a look. I don't know if you can see that. This is all just kind of temporarily in place. We'll focus here. Here's our inner frame. Insert. Going all the way up to the front. It's hard to see in there. This here is for getting everything pretty level. Like I said, everything's just clamped together right now. We got our 2 bottle jacks here so we can adjust up and down on each side. I just wanted to show you before we went, and this is going to be part 1 of a 2-part video. I'm going to do part 1 today. Been at this for about 9 hours now, and got it cut this morning. We cut it with the 5-inch cutoff disc on a grinder. Choop. Pulled it apart. Went to a wrecking yard and got a piece of frame rail that was from a Peterbilt. This is a 3/8 thick frame, 10 and 3/4 tall. So we went and found an exact match from a Peterbilt. Bought one side that was 10 feet long. Brought that home. Got looking around the wrecking yard. We needed a drive shaft. Found this little baby. We're going to stick in the middle of the original 2. And luckily enough, we'll get right on there. And we'll pull that down here. As you can see, I'm hooked on the front of the other bolt, so we're measuring to the front of this bolt, and we're 3 foot 3/8 of an inch. So the extra 3/8 of an inch will just make it up in here, you know. We're going to land another cross member. Let's talk about cross members here. What we're doing, we're using the holes here, and here for cross member chair. On the inside, of course. I'm holding it on the outside here to show you what it'll be like. So, one here, and drill a couple of holes here and here, and then the next cross member will go here. Then we're going to add one more cross member, and it'll line up right here. That one was actually here from the factory, so the one we're going to add is going to be right here, and that will hold our second center bearing from our used drive shaft. So, pretty easy fix for the drivetrain. What other fancy stuff we got here going on? Back here, this had a double frame insert. We got an air track suspension it had a double frame insert, as you can see, just to the back of that cross member. I guess it goes back to the shock bracket and such there. And it came up here on the front, and I'll show you what we cut out here. These pieces here were in, this is the front holes of the suspension bracket. And it tapered off and went down and then bolted. So we cut that, squared it up without cutting into the original frame inside with a die grinder very carefully with a torch in the corners. Got that pulled out, ground up, and we're going to weld this insert frame to that, essentially making it double frame all the way from the back of the cab cross member all the way to the back of the frame. So this 1/4 inch on the insert, 1/4 inch steel, had them bent up at the local truck frame shop. This is used frame we found at the wrecking yard. We're gonna tighten this gap off a little bit, obviously. I'm just showing you a overall video of the first fit up and whatnots, and then tomorrow when we get it welded and jigged in there, I'll make another video and show you all the progress. These are 9-foot 10-inch inserts. Ended up being the length on them, 9-foot 10-inch. Our piece that we're scabbing in is 3 feet long. So we got some major overlap and doubling up and spreading the joints out, and then after all, we're gonna weld this on the outside, weld that main frame up with the insert in place and clamped up tight, and that will pretty much get everything level. It's not going to be perfect with that. We're still going to have to, you know, run a straight edge across the top or a string, something like that, to eyeball down the frame to get everything perfect with the jacks. Weld the outside of these joints here in the main frame. Then I'm going to go back in and remove the insert, and then we're going to weld up the inside of these main frame joints. Very important to have the main frame 100% welded all the way around. The inside frame, obviously we're not going to be able to get at the outside of this joint after, so we're going to do our best to get as much penetration as possible, of course, and then we're going to put a big diamond gusset, fish plate, whatever you want to call it, over this joint here and here after we drill the holes for the front of the suspension mount. Guess I'm not the best camera guy in the world today. So that's pretty much it. I know probably a lot of people are saying, oh, the straight cuts, the straight cuts. Well, I'll tell you what, pal, or whoever, you try to make an angle cut, and I ain't saying it's not impossible, but to get everything lined up, you know, you got a lot of angles going on. In this straight cut, that's going to be 100% welded. After that, we're gonna put the bolts through, drill new holes straight through the insert. Bolts, 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 the whole way, all the way up to here. This is where the cab cross member stops, these 2 bolts, and then this bolt. inner frame comes about right to here. Insert frame. So we're gonna drill. Put bolts in the whole time. And that'll be it. And then when everything's all said and done, we're gonna put a steerable lift axle under here and a 17.5 foot dump body. So there it is. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for the next thrilling installment of Peterbilt 379 stretch.